What is going on, everyone? This is Ninja Geek here, and today we have kind of a longer video. I don't know how long this is going to be, but what I'm planning to do is to just throw up some Titanfall gameplay that I just had for the I don't even know. This was like really old gameplay, so if you do want to watch the gameplay, you don't have to. I just thought I would throw it up in the background because I do kind of need to get rid of this footage. I've been sitting in here for a while. You know, you don't really put Titanfall in the back of anything, so let's get started anyway. The rules for this is going to be, I'm going to be talking about PC versus Mac, but more importantly the laptop versions of each, because I've had both PC and Mac on a laptop, and right now I have a PC laptop, but they could also apply to desktop, I guess you could say. It would just take away things like the battery. You don't have to worry about that, because PC, obviously, you don't need to take out batteries for that and replace them. So first off, we're going to get off starting with PC, then move to Mac, then my opinion. So first off, PC is kind of cheap for what you're getting. You could get a cheap PC if you're looking to just like browse internet and stuff like that. PC's probably, I'm just going to take a guess that they're in the ballpark of $299 for like really cheap ones that are garbage, and maybe over $1,000. Or you could get, I mean, I've put them in a I've gone to a website and I put them in a website thing, and I've gotten a PC to go up to like $30,000. So yeah, I don't know who would pay for that, but if you are looking for that, the PCs overall are really cheap if you are just looking to get some sort of computer to use at your home or whatever, because you could find them anywhere. And the thing is, the whole experience of the PC is just better versus Mac, especially the gaming experience. Like if you're, let's get into games. If you're into like Steam gaming with you know, like all those types of games that you buy on Steam, Mac isn't really the choice for that, and we'll get into more of that later on in the video. But for this, I'm just gonna say that the gaming experience isn't, or I mean, it is better on PC, just because more games are compatible with Windows. They just make that. I mean, PC is where Steam started on, you know. It's just where the foundation was, and then they ported it over to Mac, so some games are on Mac, but PC is where it's all started. So if you're looking for gaming, gaming-wise PCs, that is the direction you want to go. And also, another thing about compatibility, more programs that you download from the internet and other applications you download from the internet are more compatible with Windows than Mac. Most often, 9 times out of 10, it'll say this app is not compatible with Mac. If you're downloading it from some sort of internet source, it'll probably say that, and for no reason. I don't know, maybe they just don't want to make the app compatible with Mac, or maybe it's just harder or something. It's just more apps and stuff are compatible with Windows, and you know, there are some apps and programs that are only compatible with Mac, but very few. And if they are, there's something to do with the Mac itself. It's nothing like that you could possibly put on cross-platform. So the next part is that they're easy to take apart. This doesn't really apply to PCs unless you're trying to put RAM on there. I'm talking more of like the battery. You know, they're really easy to take apart. You just flip over the back, and the battery's right there. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's nothing really else that you have to do. You could even go online and look up tutorials and stuff like that of how to like take your PC apart. There's also many possibilities as far as customization of the interior and exterior things. So you could get the thing about Windows computers is that you could get different ones. So you could get a Lenovo, which I have Lenovo. You could get HP. You could get all the different brands like Samsung. Any kind of brand of Windows you want, they have different designs. So if you don't like a particular exterior design, you could do that. And also for the interior design, you could customize a lot of things. For the software, you could you know, make apps and stuff like that. So it really it's got both the interior and exterior design very well. You could customize this Windows to your liking. Barely overheats. That, I mean, this is kind of a tricky one because it depends on what PC you have. I mean, if you have like an old crappy one from 2007 and it's got like 4 gigs of RAM, then yeah, it's probably gonna overheat, and you probably are gonna yell at me and say, no, my PC overheats all the time. I was actually thinking of getting a Mac, but really, it all depends on what RAM you have, you know, because RAM is cheaper to buy than a PC. I mean, if you have a 2007 PC, then it's probably time for an upgrade, but if you just bought a PC and it's going really slow, I'd suggest upgrading the RAM on that to, you know, because most computers either come with 4 or 8 gigs standard. Mine is 8 gigabytes. upgrading to 16, it'll probably cost you a little over 100 to put that in, and that's another thing. You could take away the back easily and put those in and just pop them, the other ones out, close the back, and that's easy. But yeah, so my computer barely overheats. The only time that it overheats is when I'm rendering a video, which is normal, and I only have 8 gigs, so it takes a tiny bit more to render out a video. If you were looking to make videos and stuff like that, it takes more time to do that if you have lower gigs of RAM, but barely any noise is what I like about mine. This Lenovo that I have has barely any noise coming out of the system when it overheats. There's not really, I know there's fans inside, but you really can't hear them. I'm not like, if I was gonna hear them, I'd probably have to be quiet for like ever, listen in really close and stand like 2 feet away, or not even like, you probably have to put your ear right up to the thing to hear the fans going. So that's really, really good, because it gets annoying if you're like somewhere busy and then all of a sudden your fans start going whoo, and they do that noise, because I've had that happen before on a Mac, and it's just really annoying. The next and last thing about having Windows is that it is more efficient for things like if you own an Xbox, any Xbox 360 or Xbox One, you've got your OneDrive on there, and you also have your Microsoft Office things as well, so you could keep them all in a nice place. It just corresponds with it, because obviously Microsoft makes Windows, and so then Microsoft will make the Xbox, and it all coincides with each other if you do get Windows. Now we'll move on to the Mac. So I've had a Mac computer since 2012. That's when I got the new MacBook Pro in 2012 of October, and I've had it for not even a year, I want to say. No, I might have had it for a year, but anyway, we're going to get into it. Macs are really, really expensive, and I'm just talking in generic. Like, you buy a computer, you go to Best Buy, and you pick up the MacBook Pro from the store. They're really expensive. My Mac was like $1,700, but that's because I bought the i7 processor instead of the i5. If you just go and buy the i5 processor with just regular stuff, no RAM, no nothing, obviously it's RAM, but I mean no extended RAM, no anything like that, and you just go and buy it from the box, without the warranty, by the way, it's like $1,300 or something like that, whereas PCs go as low as and that's a Pro. If you were looking at an Air, it'd be like 1,000 or maybe 900. We'll say 800 to be generous. PCs, like I said, they go from like $300, we'll say $400 to get a decently good one, not that really good, but something that you could use. And a Mac, you have to spend like $800 or $900 just to get started with using it, and that's really kind of expensive. You're talking about like a $500 difference there. So if people are looking at it and they're new to this PC stuff, and computer stuff, sorry, people want to say, oh well, it's cheaper, they go for the cheaper one. That's probably why more people have Mac, or more people have PC that I know of. I don't really know a lot of people that have Macs themselves. Everyone that I know of has basically PCs. Like I said before, with PC, and most games and apps are compatible with Windows. Mac kind of has a shortage. The only apps that you can really get are ones that they sell in the App Store or for free on the App Store, and then you have to like look and see what's compatible online, because most of them aren't. So that's kind of a downside. It's not really harder to take apart the back. It's just, instead of like popping off a battery thing or something, you have to get a screwdriver and unscrew the back, at least on a MacBook Pro. This applies to obviously the laptops, of course. It's just a little bit harder. You have to have like a screwdriver thing to pop off the whole back plate. It's just that's kind of weird, but the design is actually it's not really better, but it's more slimmer, so you can't really like hit anything on the back because everything's internal. There's no like battery that you could like switch off and then flick and it comes out. You have to unscrew the back for it. There's not really much customization for the interior software. The exterior, you could change some things, you know, if you want like the RAM and stuff like that. Like I said before, you have to unscrew the back plate. But the interior, like the actual software part, there's not really much you could change except for stuff that they have on the App Store. You know, I mean, basically, obviously, wallpapers and stuff like that. Not really as much as Windows offers for customization, but we all know that with iPhone, because there's no customization on Apple's part. They want everything simple. So if you're not really into the customization part and you just want something that works and simple, then that's probably the best thing for you. And the next one is controversial. Mine overheated way too much. Like, I would just go on the internet for 5 minutes, watch a video, maybe look at some websites, and my Mac would already be overheating that instant, and it wouldn't just overheat, like it'd get hot, like the fans would go make that loud noise that I was mentioning before, and it would just be an awful experience. You know, if you had your laptop on your lap, it would burn your like knees and stuff. It would really get hot. It would get hotter than my PC that I have now. You know. So that's one thing, but I'm pretty sure, I mean, obviously desktop Macs aren't going to have that issue with overheating, except if it's like in the thing, but you're not really going to notice that. And I'm not really sure about the fans in the desktop Macs, but I'm talking about the laptop here. I just had an overall bad experience, and that's with the regular stuff. So again, going into the more expensive, you know, parts of that, if you were going to upgrade your RAM so that it doesn't overheat as much, that'd be the same price as PC, so it'd probably be like $100 extra to put that in, and you know, it's just, at that point, it's getting too expensive. You know, most people don't want to say, oh yeah, let's spend $2,000, because you're probably going to want to get the warranty with that, because if you just bought a $1,500 computer, you're not going to, you know, let it break and then lose that money. You know, that's why PC, it's like, oh, if you break a $300, $400 computer, it's like, you know, that's a lot of money, but a $1,500 computer, you know, it's something. So, yeah, so now we're getting into the last part of this, where having a Mac is more efficient with iCloud. So if you use Pages or Keynote or anything that Apple offers, like on their App Store, it all coincides. Like Windows coincides with Xbox, Apple coincides with their iCloud, so you could basically save Pages, documents, and view them on your phone and stuff. I believe you could view them on your iPhone, but here's one thing that I don't really understand with iTunes on Mac and iTunes on Windows. They're basically the same. Like, there's nothing. If you have a Mac or if you have an iPhone and you're looking to get a computer and you're like, well, maybe I should get a Mac because I have an iPhone, that's not really the case. Windows still does the same exact thing. There's nothing else that's special that Apple does. Like, with Windows and Xbox, they coincide together. You know, Apple doesn't have anything that offers to Xbox, obviously, but Apple has stuff that offers to Windows, because they know more people, you know, more people, I guess, have Windows. I mean, a lot of people have Mac too. I'm not bashing on that. But the majority, a lot of people have Windows, so if they didn't offer iTunes on Windows, it'd be a letdown. And so basically everything is the same for iPhone, so don't think that if you have an iPhone you could just get a Mac. So I basically just went over everything about PC versus Mac. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm probably going to have to throw up some extra gameplay, but what else? That was it. My opinions now. I obviously have a PC, and I like PC better, but we'll explain why. So the things that I really thought that impacted this decision better were that the major reasons, not that the back plate doesn't unscrew, or you have to unscrew the Mac one. Like, I don't unscrew my take off my back plate every time, like every day. So that's not really a problem. My problem was with the overheating issue. I can't have that, especially when you're rendering out videos, because that was awful. That was an awful experience that I had. And I used iMovie, but I think Final Cut Pro, I think that's the program. It's like $300. You know, it would be worth it. But, you know, I wasn't all into that Mac stuff, and if I got it on my laptop, I would have just wasted the money. So that's basically my opinions on the PC. So, you know, mine does overheat sometimes, but if it does, the fan isn't that loud, and you can't really tell, and then afterwards, it'll just, like, cool down. my computer is an overall better experience. And also another thing about this that I have a problem with is on Mac, the battery life for me was not that great. You would go on the internet, watch a video, browse a website, close it, and you lose like 20 to 30% in like maybe like 15 to 20 minutes. That would just be too much. Like this PC that I have, really good battery life. I charge it like all the time, like I did with my Mac. But it's just I don't know. Maybe it's just because it got older or something that it didn't work. But anyway, after all that explaining and all that talking, I hope you did enjoy today's video. It was a longer video, and if you're not really into Titanfall in the background, that's okay. You didn't have to watch the gameplay. It was just there so you could listen, because you're obviously going to be listening to my voice, because that's what you want to hear on this video. So if you did enjoy this video, my opinions, leave a like. Also, leave a comment below. I want to see how many people of you have PC or Mac, or if you are thinking of getting one, or whatever. That's what mainly this video is for. I wanted to make this video as kind of I know there's probably people online that already have this kind of video up, but I wanted to make one myself on my channel and explain my thoughts and opinions on that. So I hope you did all enjoy the video. Like I said, subscribe for more content, because I already said to like it, and like I said, leave a comment below on what you have. So I'll see you on whatever my next video happens to be. I'm Ninja Geek. I'm out. Peace.